Dude, I haven't done it yet.
That's hilarious. Yeah. All right. Well, it says we're live, so I guess we're live. So say hey.
Hi.
Uh, I
I
gotta.
haven't done it yet.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. That's when you know it's spam, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
But I
All
just
right. We're
thought it was
live. Yeah.
funny. I was like, gee, Slade, he's just so famous that people are using him.
The dozens of fans out there. Actually, I got. I'll introduce the show in a second. Whatever. I got a thing. It's like an email. It's like you're trending well in Canada. Your podcast is 75th in music interviews.
Well, I am like a great candidate for you then because I noticed that I ran a Facebook ad, and this was like a month ago before my single came out. And it tells you like all the statistics about, who's paying attention to your ad. And it wasn't even really like an ad, it was just a video of me playing a song.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who watched the most of the video consistently? 50-year-old Canadian men. They
Wow.
liked me. So I'm just
You're like,
saying.
you're like, she's not even that far, just South Dakota. It's like a day trip.
Oh gosh.
That's pretty funny. My audience, well, for my music is about half and half, but I don't know about the podcast. I hadn't doved, dovered into the analytics on that. I don't know. All right. Yeah, so I should tell everybody in the phone forums that we're live because
Oh yeah, we should do that.
you're way more popular on there than I am. Let me do this real quick.
I doubt it. I don't know. I mean, we've both been there for a long time, but I also I don't feel like I did a great job the past many years of farming. I usually just posted like 3 or 4 little songs that I wrote.
Live. Paste link. I feel like I've done my job now.
Yay. I also posted it on my Facebook page, so hopefully some little people filter in.
Some 50-year-old Canadian men. Hello to all the 50-year-old
Yeah.
Canadian men.
Hey.
Now, to be fair, in like 10 years, Face of Einstein will be one of those. So, Tim Ethier up in Winnipeg. So, it might not be all creepy dudes. It'll just be cool guys like Tim.
Right. I mean, there are some great 50-year-old men in Canada, I'm sure.
Wonder what their names are. It'd be funny if they all had like the same name.
That would be
I don't
really funny, actually.
like we're all named, I
Hmm.
don't know, Kennington or something. If that's is that a first name? Kennington?
I mean, it could be, right? Like anything could be a first name now.
That's true. I always whenever I need
There's a
like
lot of weird little made up first
yeah,
names nowadays.
I think you ever heard the name Todd, right? People named Todd.
Yeah, Todd.
See, like,
It's
but
like
if
a
you're from an
song.
affluent family, you'd be Toddington.
I don't know about that.
Hmm. Toddington Esquire, the 34th. Anyway, I guess I should open the show. Hey, this is G Slade's Indie Music Showcase, live streaming today, Saturday, spending the afternoon with Katie Dwyer, the one and only. I like the hair, by the way. What prompted the change? You've had the same hair since the first time I saw you in like 2009.
Yeah, well, okay, that's not true. I did do a ginormous chop of my hair before.
To be
And
fair,
then
I
I
hadn't kept a journal.
right, exactly. So but I really don't color my hair very often, so this is new. I did when I had it longer, it was probably like this length. I had done purple and I kind of liked the purple. Um but yeah, I don't know. I went back to brown and then I really wanted to just try something totally different. I wanted to go lighter, and so I bleached it to death, and now it's pink. So that's the story of my hair. I don't know. I'm really happy with it though, honestly. I feel like the purple wasn't like super fantastic for my skin tone and stuff. I just felt like, it's okay. It's kind of fun. But the pink, I'm liking the pink. I might even go out just a little bit shorter. So sorry for all the podcast listeners who are not watching this. You'll have to go stalk me on Instagram or something to see what my hair looks like.
We're talking to you, Kennington from Canada. Um, yeah, so this will also be on the Spotify version for everybody that doesn't. I mean, if I guess I don't have to say that because if you're listening to the podcast version, you know it's on the podcast. So I guess I would need to say go to YouTube or the G Slade Show channel on YouTube if you want to see what we're talking about. But we'll try to keep it musical for the most part, I guess, so everybody's included because that's what we do here. Bam. All right. I was trying to like share the show out a couple of times before we get too deep into it. But anyway, exciting time, right? We're on the show talking because you have a project releasing soon. You've already had one single from it, right? Tell me about
Yeah,
what you got going
yeah.
on.
So it's short and sweet, just 4 songs. It's an EP, and I probably care about it a little too much. Like I love these songs, and also I just feel like I've never worked so hard on any release before. So I'm really excited for it to be released into the world. And like you said, like I already did release one single, so I think today we're just going to go through like the other 3 songs that no one's even heard before, unless you like watch me on Twitch or something, then you've seen me play them live. But
Kennington.
um, nobody's like, nobody's heard the full production. And that's what I've been so excited about. And the release date is February 13th, which is my birthday. So it's kind of like I'm just giving myself a
Hmm.
birthday gift here. And
That's
you
just a
want to
week
give me a
away.
birthday gift. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like it's right around the corner. So, yeah.
A foam birthday. Now, how does that make your foam experience differently? Differently? How does it make your
Well,
foam experience different? Cut.
I'm just going to say it's more special. I always have something to do on my birthday, and something to write about. And honestly, I'm sure I'm not the only person, but like, if you have trouble with your birthday, you're probably like me. I get anxiety around my birthday, and I don't know why. I feel like there's this pressure, like I'm supposed to throw myself a birthday party or something, or like get together with a bunch of friends, or get showered with gifts, and I'm like, that's not going to happen. Like none of those things are going to happen. So I feel like I get a little bit like of anxiety because I don't want anybody to ask me like, how was your birthday? And then I'm like, oh, it was kind of like the day before my birthday and the day before that.
Such a weird
Like it's
question.
not
It's such
like
a
I'm a
weird
grown
question,
up,
isn't it?
so I know. Yeah, but I don't know, probably doesn't I probably don't have a reason to be nervous about my birthday, but it's a thing.
Hmm.
So anyway, this year I'm releasing my EP, which I love so much, and I'm doing a show on Twitch where I just play through those songs and whatever other songs I feel like playing for as long as I feel like playing music, and yeah, and I'm just going to drink beer and be happy on the internet.
Sweet. Well, what's your beer of choice?
um Long Route peanut butter porter.
A peanut butter porter. That sounds
Yeah, it's so good.
interesting.
It's my favorite.
Now, is that a
Yeah.
local brewery up there?
Uh kind of, because it's Midwest, but it's Nebraska. And so I've never been there. I don't know exactly where it is. Oh, I think it's in Lincoln, Nebraska, because I did read the bottle cuz like I only I don't see it very often in places, and I've never really heard anybody else say, "Hey, this is a beer I love," and mention it. Like I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I'm the only fan. And to be perfectly fair for anybody that's like, "Ooh, I want to try that," my husband doesn't like it at all. So I just like, I love it though. It tastes so good.
Well, what's his beer of choice? Maybe I can because I'm a bit of a beer connoisseur myself. So, uh,
I don't know what his beer choice is right now. I feel like neither of us are that picky though. Like we'll both
yeah,
try a lot of beers. Um,
I can't stand IPAs myself. A
he
little
likes
too.
IPAs,
Those are a
and
little too
I'll
bitter.
drink IPAs too. Like they're not my favorite, but there were a couple like places when we lived in San Diego that had really good ones. So I don't know. I'm probably just picky about them now.
I gotcha. I just last night I think I threw the can away, but it was a chocolate mint stout or mint chocolate stout. It was interesting because it was a chocolate stout, which I love, but it had a strong mint flavor to it, which was that was different, you know. But I made it through. Funny story on beer. I'm like on blood pressure meds now, so technically you shouldn't drink alcohol at all when you're on blood pressure meds. But if I stay cold enough while I'm drinking the beer, I'm fine. If I'm
That
hot,
sounds like
it sounds terrible, right? I only drink one. I never drink more than one in a day, and usually at night while I'm
yeah.
doing music or something. So I just pump the little AC in this room.
Oh
And
my gosh.
if I'm warm, like if I make the mistake of eating or drinking a beer at dinner, I could feel my face burning. You know how you get flush?
No,
You've never been flush?
I don't feel like I have.
Never. Okay. Well,
That's
imagine
crazy.
all this red and you can actually feel it
Oh, like
hot.
when I work out, which is almost never. So it's not like a surprise that I don't remember that.
Yeah. Although I've never had the feeling when I worked out, but because it gets so hot, it's almost like a fever. But anyway, cool beer story. All right, let me. Oh, and as far as no one ever hearing these songs, I've heard them, so I feel special that no one else has. Because
Yeah,
obviously,
you are special. I mean, so obviously I've heard them, and my husband's heard them.
obviously,
Yeah, since I made them. Um, but let's see. There's only a couple of other people. I'm going to be on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. It's like the NPR radio station out here.
yeah.
Um, and I'm doing something for them. So that guy heard it, and then there's
You-
like a South Dakota magazine, and so whoever that guy is,
The
he
point
heard
is,
it.
I'm not as special as I thought.
Well, you're pretty special, okay? There's a lot of
Okay,
people in the world, and only like
that's
five have heard
true.
it.
There's at least there are at least 10 people in the world. That is a fact. Now you were saying you put a lot more effort into the promotion and were way more excited about this one. I actually noticed that too because I'm like I've never seen Katie like push her music so much. She's like
I
sharing
did
it
push my
and
music.
right. You
Yeah.
never have. It's always been like a foam thing. You've had your other avenues, but never really like been like, hey, look at me. I'm doing music, which is fine. It's been really cool. Obviously, it's paying off too because your Spotify monthly listeners have grown and you're getting more traffic there. Why is it that now you decided this EP? I mean, which came first? Did you get excited to promote an EP, or did you just make this EP and it was like, damn, I got to promote this?
Oh gosh. I feel like this is a question that comes with like a whole story almost. Like
But that's what we do
so
here. That's what we do.
yeah, so you know that I'm a mom. I feel like a
I
lot of people, if I go out and play a gig, they just assume that I'm not a mom. You know what I mean? Um, but I am anyway. So I have 4 kids, and you know what that's like. But most people, I feel like, don't know what that's like. And
There's no way to
so
simulate it. Nope.
yeah, so I feel like I spent most of my 20s, growing humans. Like, and and it's kind of hard to do. And I'm not gonna lie, I definitely, put them before myself a lot of the time, and my music was part of that. I felt like a lot of the time I had to justify when I was promoting myself and my music. So if I had a gig that was paying well, then I would go ahead and promote that because I felt like that was justified. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
no, it
I
makes
felt
sense.
like just taking time to myself to create, to spend a lot of time recording, to learn about more about music, that made me feel selfish. And when I was like entering my 30s, I was 29. I was like, oh my God, this is my last year of my 20s. And I've been writing music for more than 10 years now. And I don't have an album out. And that felt really heartbreaking to me because, there's so many songs that I've written that have stuck with me for years and that I care about and that I play at all my shows. And I thought, I need to change this. This can't like go on. Like, yeah, I'm raising kids, but like they also need to see that I have these goals and that I'm gonna meet these goals and do what I want to do as a human, not just like my responsibilities as a parent, as a wife, as a mom. So so yeah, that was kind of a lot of the motivation. And I also uh, I quit my job when I was pregnant, which my daughter, she turned 2 recently. So this was like 2.5 years ago, when I started growing out of my clothes that would allow me to do this job, which I worked at a bank. um, I was like, I'm not buying a maternity wardrobe. Mm-mm.
Mm.
Like, no. So I quit, and I decided I was just going to do music, and I was just going to get all the paid gigs that I could. And I'd probably make about the same amount as I was making at this job. And so I did. And I just was this little pregnant lady playing gigs all over South Dakota. And I did, like, I made that money. And it kind of made me think, you know, maybe I should try harder. Maybe I should pursue music, at least try it as an avenue and try it as a career instead of just doing it on the side and then being, sad about a lot of the other things that I had to do in my life. You don't want resentment. You don't want to like resent things that take up your time, like your job or your kids, your family, or other responsibilities and relationships. So I kind of decided I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
And part of that is just promoting yourself. So, yeah, I made this EP and I did a really good job. Like, I started taking music production classes and started like learning about marketing and things like that. And, actually trying and not just writing songs because I felt like writing a song as a hobbyist. I'm kind of like trying now and doing it. And so, yeah, this EP is kind of part of like the artist side. And then I've also tried to do some other things. Like I started making beats. Yeah. I
Mm.
have an account on BeatStars, and the first one that I made, I posted, and it's like the only hip hop client that I've had. He like loved it and immediately bought it. And I was like, okay, I'll keep doing this. I'll keep trying.
Nice.
So yeah, it's going well, and I'm just trying different avenues. And I decided that I didn't want to just be like a production artist either. I wanted to be like an artist, like an indie artist, not just like a producer, even though I really have fallen in love with music production. But yeah,
Sweet.
long answer to your short question about why I decided to suddenly start promoting myself and my music.
That's what I like because that's less talking I have to do.
Well, cool. You're
So,
welcome.
it's be kind of a weird show if you just came on and listened to me talk.
I suppose.
Yeah. I'd be like, hey, you want to come on the show? Listen to me? Everybody be like, no. All right. You talk about yourself. All right. That's fine. Cool. Well, I know we want to play a few songs, and that'll give me time to think of more questions because
Yeah, sure.
I should like write a script or something, but I don't. I wing it. I'm honestly just winging it here. But makes it more fun too because we end up talking about beer and Toddington and
Yeah, and hair
Bennington.
and whatever
Yeah.
else we want to talk about. It's kind of nice.
I do understand your story though about having kids and the guilt of doing things for yourself, especially on the mom side of it. For some reason, I don't think dads feel that as much. Some weird societal structure we have, who knows?
Definitely. Yeah, it's like, same with like having a dirty house. It's like just that pressure kind of gets put on the woman if you're in this like heterosexual relationship. So it's like
Yeah,
very weird. And I'm kind of trying to step back and realize that it's kind of, yeah, it's just like our weird societal norms. And it doesn't have to be that way if I don't want it to be that way, you know?
no,
Um, and so,
yeah.
yeah,
There's no
it's going
reason
well.
that there has to be any default structure. We're big on that in my house. My wife's awesome. She does cook and stuff, but she wants to, you know what I mean? Like that's what she likes to do to contribute. Luckily enough, she doesn't have to work. So, that's what she does. But we have teenagers, so she always says, I'm cooking for you. Like they can do their own stuff.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
teens can fend for themselves because
Because they're just maybe going to be like, oh, I just ate.
yeah,
You never know.
teens are, and then it's like we have three, I don't know. We have three girls that live at home. And it's like really like nine because you never know which personality you're getting day to day. So
That's scary.
you never really know who you're dealing with. But no, good for you. You should get out there and do your music, because otherwise, if you turn 40 or 50 or whatever later on, you can be like, I wish I had done that. And to me, that's worse. And the kids, honestly, they'll be all right. Like, as long as you really,
Yeah. No, I
love
think
them
the
and do all
craziest
that.
part,
Do what?
the craziest part to me is that they're actually like really, really sweet and proud of me, like my kids. And my
Yeah.
oldest is only 9. So I don't know, just to see that and see them like, they know that like I have these goals and that I'm meeting them. I feel like I'm actually being a really good example to them, and that's really cool.
Yeah, that's a lot better than when they're adults going, I don't want to be a parent. My mom didn't even have her own life. She just cleaned up after me for 20 years or 30 years or however long you lived in the basement, whatever.
Right. And kids
And
know, like they
yeah,
can sense if you are like, oh, I wish I could just do whatever I want,
right.
and you're not
So
because of
why,
your kids, like they're gonna feel bad about that. And I think that's like a reason if you look at a lot of like all the kind of younger half of millennials and all the older Gen Zs, they're not having kids because they know that it's hard and that, they can't do whatever they want anymore and that it's expensive. And so they're just like, mm, probably not.
it's definitely expensive. I've been a parent since I was 17 years old and I'm 38. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I've known. But I wouldn't change anything. And I don't, I mean, I tell my kids, don't start a family too early. Figure out what you want to do because it's a full-time commitment, obviously. But yeah, you don't want to live a life that you don't think your kids would want to live. I mean, to me, that'd be weird, counterproductive parenting. So, um, but yeah, let's get into a specific track here. So you've already released "Wrong with Me," which is a dope track. I played it on Spotify on the way to work the other day. But the first one on and Indiscreet's the name of the EP, right?
Yes.
The first song on here is called "Making Me Choose." So, chat me up about "Making Me Choose." Let me know what that one's about.
Okay, so the funny part about this is that I almost feel like we just talked about it, and you'll probably see that in the lyrics. Um,
That happens a
because
lot on here. Trust me.
yeah, yeah, making me choose is about well, and you might not know this. If you just listened to the track and you didn't know anything about me as an artist, probably most people aren't going to assume that it has anything to do with being a parent because it doesn't sound like that. But for me, that song does. And I think that that doesn't mean that only parents could relate to it. Probably everybody could relate to it because we all have, obstacles and hard decisions in our life that we have to like sort of figure out what we want and what we want to pursue first. Um, so I think everybody can pretty much relate to it. But for me, it was about, being a mom, probably mostly. And another thing about it is I feel like if you're just listening to the lyrics, it might sound like it's about a relationship, but it's not a relationship like a man and a woman or whatever like that. It's not a romantic relationship. It's actually a relationship with kind of like with myself about what I want to do and whether I want to have more kids or not, which, that ship has sailed. We're not doing any more of that. Um yeah, we're done now.
Enough
So
of that.
yeah. 4 is good. Four is a lot. 4, everybody has somebody to ride a roller coaster with, so, I don't want to mess that up. Anyway, making me choose is about that because for a long time I felt like I had to choose between, being a parent and being an indie artist, a musician. And now I realize that that's not true, but that's what was on my heart when I wrote these words. So,
Cool. Now, did you use some of your new production skills to produce this one, or somebody help you out with it?
both. My husband, he, I don't know. I feel like people want to help people that are helping themselves, you know? So I feel like he, saw that I'm like really going for it and was just absolutely on board with everything I wanted to do. And he's been producing for longer than I have as a hobbyist, but still, like, he does know a lot. And he was like, let me help you. I'll record you and like we'll be like co-producers. So we really worked together on this, even though we definitely have our own like band, and this is very much different than that. We have Moon and Sea, that's what we call our own little band that we have going on. But yeah, he wanted to co-produce and mix, and it was a great actually learning process for both of us because we got We got it mastered.
Was that your ding?
That was my ding. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I think it was a Facebook thing. My phone started doing this thing where it dings where somebody goes live on Facebook, and I'm just like, can you not? Because usually it's not something that I care very much about.
I turn off
So
all my notifications for everything except for like text messages.
I need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, life is so much better when you only look at your social media when you've like prepared mentally to do it, not when, because if you get notifications, it's like dictating to you, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
And I
even know
usually
about
just
it.
swipe it away. Like,
Yeah,
bye. Bye.
so why even do all that? I just turn off the
Yeah.
notifications. So,
Yeah.
well,
I
I
need to figure
had,
that out.
every answer you give, I have follow up questions. So if I don't play the
Sure.
song, I'm
Yeah.
never gonna get to it. So let me do it. And that's not your fault. That's mine. That's just how my mind works. A little bit of ADHD going on here.
That's, I understand probably too much.
All right, so I'm going to mute myself and play "Making Me Choose" by Katie Dwyer from the Indiscreet EP coming out on her birthday, February 13th. And here we go. Here it is.
It's scary going after your dreams, feeling failure catching up with you, making excuse after excuse not to do what I need to, wanting to accomplish something and knowing I might die before I do. You're making me choose to either have my dreams or have you. And the more I think about it all, the more it feels like I'll lose or I'll lose. No one cares because it's just a hobby. Just something fun I like to do. But if it really is just something fun I like to do, then why, when I can't do this, do I feel like I am being torn in two? Now you're making me choose to either have my dreams or have you. And the more I think about it, all the more it feels like I'll lose or I'll lose. And I've chosen you over and over, and I don't feel any better. Maybe eventually I'll switch it up because I'm pretty sure this is what crazy people do.
All right, that's good. So, sorry, I had to hit the pause. I didn't know that auto played. How
It
dare you?
does, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Cool beans. I'll remember that next time.
The
Uh,
song is like, it's so funny because if I would have produced that by myself, it would sound so different. But what we did was, my husband was like, you should get a professional drummer. And I was like, okay. Obviously, I have a drum set behind me right now, so I play some drums, but I'm not, that's not my whole life. I really am an intermediate drummer at best. And we found somebody um, that does drums. Her name's Rebecca Sykes. And so I sent her just acoustic, me playing to a click track, nothing special, tracks, and she sent back those drums, and I really gave her free reign. I was like, I like your style. Just go for it. Whatever you feel like should be done, go ahead and try it. And I liked it. And so she sent me for this song. This was like the only song where she sent back the drums, and I was just like, I totally didn't expect this, but I kind of like it. So let's just go with it and like build the track around these drums. And I feel like that really changed, what I had in my head originally. So I actually plan on releasing an acoustic version of this track later on too. So
Makes
eventually
sense.
that'll be on Spotify. Yeah, but this one was like, it kind of reminds me of that meme. Have you ever seen that meme where it's just like the two houses that are next to each other, and one's like super like charcoal or almost black and gothic and modern structure, and then the other house is like this really adorable pink house with like white shutters, and it's like all happy looking, and it's like it says like the music and the lyrics above these houses. And I always think of that meme when when I think of this, because the music is so happy, but if you really listen to the words, it's like not that happy of a song.
Yeah. I think though it's relatable even outside of people that do music. I think all parents struggle with their own desires versus their parental what they feel is their obligation. That parental guilt is what my wife and I call it. I have to, talk to her all the time because I think she does 99% for others and 1% for herself. And her birthday's in February as well, on the 23rd. Yeah, on the 23rd. That'd have been bad if I
Don't
couldn't remember.
hesitate.
Uh, I always get crossed up with those numbers because she was born in 84 and the date is the 23rd, so I always want to say the 24th, but it's 84. So I always want to say 2483 instead of 2384. But anyway, I know her birthday. But I told the kids this year, I was like, we're not getting her any presents that have to do with her doing anything for us. Like,
Right.
nice,
Yeah, that makes
no
sense.
new stuff in the kitchen or nothing like that. Nothing where she's going to use it to benefit us, like selfish presents that are about her. So, no, I think it's a relatable message that you got there. And the beat is, I mean, for one, for me, it's different than what I would think of a Katie Dwyer song.
Yeah, that's another thing about like this whole EP, I feel like is like I'm growing and changing, and that song's probably like the most different. Um and I like it. I've totally fallen in love with the production of all the songs, but yeah, that one's really fun for me, and it's a song that I actually did have some other people like on Twitch and stuff say, "Oh my gosh, I love that song." So I'm really excited to release it because I know that it already has people sort of waiting for it. And the other songs too, but that one in particular. Yeah.
Sorry,
That's okay.
I told
I'm
you I'm
curious
on.
about your shirt.
The shirt, Twin Peaks. You ever seen the show? So
No,
they would go into the room with the red curtains and the checkered floor, and the weird guy would be in there, the little short dude.
I
You
don't
ever
know
seen it?
anything about that, but I do like the art on your shirt.
Oh, thanks. Well, you should watch the show. Twin Peaks is great. No, I don't know about the new one. They did a new one. I'm talking about the one from the 90s. Uh,
Oh,
it is hilarious. It's actually inspired some of my own characters and some literature I've written. I got loosely based on some of those characters, like same universe type thing, you know. But anyway, yeah, great show. It's about there was a movie that came out as a follow up, also called Twin Peaks: Fire Walk with Me. It's pretty good. It's about Laura Palmer and who killed Laura Palmer and all that stuff. So I think you'd enjoy it. Yeah, like I was telling you before we were on, I'm in IT and this is my on call weekend.
oh,
So
are they getting after you? They're like,
oh,
no,
this
I
this
can't find my email.
this one dude's a bit of a spaz. He's been stressing me out. I'm taking care of it. He's
That's really funny.
yeah, so it's not bad. I mean, it's a casino though, so 24/7 it's going, so you never know when something will pop off, and got to take care of them or I won't have the money to sponsor this show. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'll have to start touring with bankers in South Dakota or something if I lose that job. Although I don't think
Oh,
the Canadian I don't know. I wonder if the Canadian 50-year-old viewership would go up or down if I was on that tour too.
I
Hmm.
don't know. They might like it.
All right. The next one, that's a good segue into this next song. That's just what I say. Makes all segues work if you just say it's a good segue.
Yeah. And
All
then
I
they
can
can
do,
think deep about it.
yeah. They're like, wait a minute, why is that? Oh yeah, and then they start, okay, yeah, because of that. Yeah, he's right. It's a good segue. Twin Peaks, yeah. All I can do is the next track, and this is number 2 on Indiscreet. So tell me about that one.
This is definitely the oldest song on the EP. It's I think I wrote it in 2014. So that was a long time ago. Very old, and it's one of the songs that I've just enjoyed playing live over the years, and I felt like it just sort of deserved more than I've ever given it thus far. So I wanted to give that one a full production, and yeah, that's it. I feel like as far as the meaning behind the song, the story behind the song, it was kind of written. Sometimes I need a pep talk. I mean, we all need a pep talk sometimes, but sometimes you need a pep talk and nobody's really there to give you a pep talk. So so I wrote the words mostly not in like this literal sense, because in the chorus you'll hear me say like, basically you're always there for me. And I was talking about my husband, but he's not always there for me. It's not like he's always right next to me holding my hand through everything I do. You know what I'm saying? But in a general sense, I know that he always supports me. So, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of a not exactly this physical sort of way of saying that, but in
Yeah.
a mental emotional way, like he's definitely always there for me. And so that's like the simple meaning behind the song.
He's dedicated and available.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
Um, I've always used that as almost my definition for being in love in general. Well, there's being in love and there's actually loving someone, I think. When you say like, oh, I'm in love, it's like that new endorphin high, love thing. But that the term gets thrown around a lot, especially young couples. Like, I love this person, love that person, whatever. I think it really comes down to being dedicated and committed to a person, whether or not it's convenient or even pleasant in a certain moment, like if you can drop a relationship or something like that easily, then you weren't really that committed to it. You didn't push through. So,
Yeah.
uh,
I feel like my husband and I have a good we've got a good balance going on because I definitely have a lot of like things that I want to do. And he realizes that. And it goes vice versa as well. Like he has a lot of hobbies, a lot of things that he wants to do. So we try to make that, uh just support each other as best we can and like, share a calendar and work out like if he wants to go race motorcycles on some weekend, then I'm like, okay, cancel that weekend out. Like, I'm not going to schedule anything for that weekend
can he
unless.
outrun a motorcycle?
What? No. That's
Oh, you said he
hilarious,
was
though.
racing motorcycle. Okay.
No, like he
I
sits
mean,
in
like, go for it, man. If you can race a motorcycle, like, I wouldn't even try that. I wouldn't.
I mean, he races motorcycles, but he's also on a motorcycle.
Oh, well, that makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
It does. I assume.
He's not really even winning than his motorcycles. If you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like, we both obviously, and we live in the middle of nowhere, so both of us kind of like to travel sometimes, and a lot of the time that's not together. We just got to take turns. That's okay too. It's like whatever works for that portion of your life, you just do it.
Sweet. Well, let's play. All I can do. This is number 2 on Indiscreet, the upcoming EP from Katie Dwyer. And I'm going to mute myself.
different. When I'm alone, I can't fix it. I've gotta learn to like to be alone. And the winds are shifting, a new season is beginning, and I'm losing all my sense of direction. I'm stuck in a space between two things. I'm not all that patient, but I'm sure trying to be. And all that I think about is you. No matter what life brings, you are steady and true. And when I am unstable, your hands stop me from shaking. Your words are reassuring, and you remind me of all I can do. All I can do. All I can do. Time brings change for the better, for the worse. Sometimes all that we can do is continue and hope for some good news. Distract ourselves, sing the blues while we wait to make the next move. I'm stuck in a space between two things. I'm not all that patient, but I'm sure trying to be. And all I can think about is you. No matter what life brings, you are steady and true. And when I am unstable, your hands stop me from shaking. Your words are reassuring, and you remind me of all I can do. All I can do. All I can do. All I can do.
Boom. I paused it this time. I got it right. Still there, you're awfully quiet.
I was muted because you
Oh.
said you were muting yourself, and then I muted myself. But thanks for letting me know that I was muted because I then forgot.
I think you're
Yeah,
probably
that
good because
song.
you're using headphones, so you might be all right. I just mute myself because I have my monitors up here and I don't want it to play down into the mic.
Oh yeah, I don't do that because I don't want to create a crazy feedback loop. That
Yeah.
would definitely be a thing if I tried to do that, especially with the mic I'm using right now.
Well,
Picks up
Zoom
everything.
Zoom's pretty cool. I'm using the little like cigar mic, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's like 10 years old, 11 years old, but Zoom does a really good job of canceling out background noise. So it really only picks me up. So like it's like you're playing out loud and it doesn't feedback, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I feel like Zoom, I have mixed feelings about it, and they're mostly negative, but they're kind of like they're doing a better job. I just feel like Zoom is kind of slow to get on board with, stereo. Like they make it very, very difficult to hear music in stereo as a like Zoom participant. So like for instance, that was not stereo for my ears, even if
Yeah,
it probably was for yours. And so I don't like that about them. I'm just like, because
there
every
is
time I'm in
that.
Zoom, it's about music production, or
Yeah.
I'm watching a Zoom concert where somebody's performing, and I'm just like, I want the best audio quality. Give it to me.
Yeah. So is Twitch better for that for getting the whole stereo sound?
Oh, Twitch is amazing. I love Twitch, but I also use OBS to go to Twitch. And also, if I ever go live on Facebook, I use OBS to go to Facebook. So, yeah. You just have like a lot more control that way.
Mhm.
And I
I just
really,
downloaded it, but I haven't really learned what to do with it yet. You know what I mean?
oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, it's not like super intuitive when you start, but after you know the basics, I feel like it's pretty easy to like get going and start customizing things. And I've had a lot of fun with it, which is funny because I used to be afraid of gear. Just new microphones and different kinds of cables and interfaces to go to your computer, and now I'm like, I kind of love it. So it's like really funny, like the changes that happen over the years as you get more comfortable with your setup and everything. And then by the time the pandemic hit, I was just like, I don't care, I'm good to go, let's do this. Like, get online, everybody, it's fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely not married to Zoom. But we were doing like the audio only stuff through like Zencaster, and then I jumped on Zoom so we could do the live streams and all that. But yeah, I'm always looking for something better. You know, that's why I didn't do like the annual contract. I just do the monthly, so I can cancel it when I'm ready. And I got OBS. I haven't spent enough time playing with it yet. Like literally just got it recently, but it looks cool because I want to do like like an opening thing. You know, like maybe a pre-made video.
A transition,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then go into the interview and then have something at the end to like bumper it
Yeah,
and
so it looks really cool and it's like,
right,
gee,
right,
Slade show. Like, yeah.
right. And then it'll save Volpine a ton of work because right now he's my video editor.
Oh yeah, you should just make him figure it out for you.
I should. That's true. He's a video
Sorry,
guy.
Volpine. Hi.
But no, man, he's been great for the show, especially for the video side. He's really helped me out there, make it look a little better. And if you hadn't heard his
He's
episode,
been doing that for a long time. I went to high school with him.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and he even then was like making videos and stuff. So
That's what he told me. He was like an AV nerd for real, and that he got out of it, but now he's getting back into it. And I'm like, well, I'm glad I benefit
mm,
from this.
that might be hard then. Maybe he is kind of a noob because I feel like everything has changed so much as far as like technology just in the past few years. Like everything has just grown so much. So I don't know.
Cool, cool. I was just checking out the chat.
Oh, do
Uh,
we have chats?
Mr. Giles made it in.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, and Mr. X. Well, that's what I call him. Hi, Wolfgang. Yeah, and Rice.
Hopefully
Oh, Crystal.
the chat stay pretty polite. I had to turn on the live chat because I don't know, it wasn't letting Steve through. I guess his account's suspicious. I don't know.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh, but speaking of him, and this is February, right? So we're doing February album writing month. You and Steve are doing the Fortnite songs. Steve and I talked about that last
We
week.
are.
How's that
Yeah, I
going?
heard you guys. I was kind of lurking. I couldn't comment very much because I was like, I just threw you up on my TV and I was getting stuff done. But like, yes. We have decided. So I've been playing a lot of Fortnite with Mr. G, aka Stephen Wesley Giles. And while we play Fortnite, occasionally, maybe not so occasionally, maybe every time we play, maybe several times every time we play, we burst out into song, not necessarily together, but it happens because we're both those kind of people. And we kept joking and saying like, oh, we should make like a, because he has his album, Songs in the Key of Minecraft, right? And I love it. It's amazing. I don't like a lot of kids' music, but you know, Mr. G, it's good stuff. Right alongside Kimya Dawson. Anyway, so he has that songs in the key of Minecraft, and we were like, well, we should definitely do songs in the key of Fortnite. And we've just been adding to this little list of like song titles, even though there's no song, or just things that we think are funny about Fortnite that should definitely be in a song. And then, you know, February rolled around and we're playing, and it was just like, well, we should do it for FOM. We should just do it. And they don't have to be long songs. We're not putting a lot of pressure on ourselves. Like, we're just doing like, you know, 30-second to 1 minute to, I guess, really, they're ending up being like a minute to 2 minutes. But they're just short little songs and they're funny. And if you play like any sort of first person shooter or battle royale game, it's relatable. You'll understand. Doesn't even have to be Fortnite. You'll probably get it.
Yeah. Oops, I threw my heels at the enemy. That sounds funny.
Yeah.
Stuck in
Yeah.
build
They're
mode.
all funny. Like, you're welcome to play them, actually. Like, they're hilarious. I actually love them, and we'll probably end up releasing it.
I'd have to have Mr. Giles's permission too. He is in
Oh,
the
yeah,
chat.
yeah, yeah. Okay, well, he'll have to give you permission. I
I
don't
mean,
know, in the
I
chat
assume
or
he'd be cool
something.
with it, considering he's been on the show twice, talking for hours about himself. You know,
Right. Yeah.
he'd probably be fine with it.
He's like, I'd love to hear my own voice. Just kidding, Mr. G. So,
Which
yeah,
one's the
but it's
best
been really
one?
fun.
If I played one,
Ooh, okay. Well, what do you want?
the best one.
I feel like the first one, if we're talking like from a production standpoint, that first one is like golden. Like, that has probably the least amount of like to do if we actually want to release this. That one's like basically done. The other ones are gonna need a little tweaking.
Big shocker. Steven said it's cool.
Fantastic. They're all the best, honestly.
Well, there you go. Definitions be damned. Steve said, "Of course, duh. You can play anything you want." I knew it. We knew as much. Yeah, this one's only a minute 23, which are sequential numbers, by the way. And then
Oh,
Rice.
Rice says thought stuck in build mode was the Sims song by title alone.
I'm out of.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. No, it's not about The Sims. They're all about Fortnite. But I never even thought of The Sims being a relatable game because it's not, you don't shoot anything in The Sims. Am I wrong? I don't know. I haven't played that since I was like a baby.
I play Mortal Kombat, and that's it. That's all I play.
Yeah. Then you'll understand all the ones that are like, then you probably won't understand stuck in build mode. You know what I mean? Because if you play like Mortal Kombat or I don't know, Call of Duty or any of those like games where you don't build anything, then that doesn't apply.
Well, you
But
can build characters in Mortal Kombat. You can customize characters. That's about it. You can't build like a level or
yeah.
anything.
But if I was shooting at you in Mortal Kombat, you can't throw up a wall and block my shots.
Depends on what character I have.
What? Okay, well, I guess I don't know anything about that game.
I love Mortal Kombat so much. I named my first kid Melina and tattooed myself with her name.
Oh my gosh. I love Call of Duty so much that I bought a corset in hopes that I could be Scarlet, one of the characters, for Halloween. And then I didn't do anything for Halloween, so now I just have a corset that looks like Scarlet's.
What was that from?
Call of Duty Black
Oh,
Ops.
because there's a Scarlet on Mortal Kombat who wears, like, depending on the outfit you get, looks like.
Yeah, it depends on which, you know.
That's interesting. Well, I'll play Reboot Friends, Reboot Each Other, but like, tell me.
It's my favorite. So Reboot Friends, Reboot Each Other is one that I wrote, and it's amazing. And then I just sent like a very basic thing to Steve, and I was just like, okay, fill it in, like make it sound beautiful. And he did. He did a great job. I think I just sent like, I had like a really basic like drum track and weird synthy instrument going on and my vocal. And then he filled in the rest.
Wolfgang said, I named my first kid Mortal. And I'm like, no, I named my first kid Melina from Mortal Kombat. Although Mortal would be a dope name. I wouldn't shy away from it. But no, her name's Melina, not Mortal. And I was going to name my youngest daughter Raiden It's actually a dude on Mortal Kombat, but I thought it'd be a cool girl name. But
It does sound like a cool girl name.
my wife at the time did not want to do that. So, but anyway, she's 11 now, so I'm sure she's picking out her own new name. So, who knows? All right, reboot fan, reboot, stroke live on the air. Okay. Reboot friends, reboot each other. This is Stephen Wesley Giles and Katie Dwyer. Music by Katie, if you're on phone.
Fawn is like, that's been my name since 2009.
Yeah. Blah blah blah. All right, I'm gonna mute my side and play this.
Reboot friends, reboot each other. Ba la 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 la. Reboot friends, reboot each other. Ba la 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 la. Reboot friends, reboot each other. La 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 la. Reboot friends, reboot each other. La 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 la. And if I die, it'll be alright.
Because
Reboot friends, reboot each other. La 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 la.
I got my reboot
Reboot friends, reboot each other. La 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 la. Reboot friends, reboot each other. La 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 la. Reboot friends, reboot each other. La 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 la. Reboot friends, reboot each other. La 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 la.
reboot friends.
So
Sweet.
yeah, that was our the first song of our month of writing Fortnite songs. Me and Mr. G. No, that will not be released on my birthday. You'll have to stay in touch and see when we and what we decide to do with all these amazing Fortnite songs that are just, being whipped up.
Yeah, I mean, so you're gonna have just a whole farm winnings worth of that, just 14 of these, in addition to other stuff.
Yeah. I think, well, I've only written one like other kind of random FOM song that's very like typical Katie FOM song. And Steve has done several, I think, like three other ones that are not. And he has collaborations going on, so it might be more now. I don't know. I don't check every day, but
Mhm.
yeah, I did write. I started writing lyrics for the next one. Actually, we have kind of two Fortnite songs that are like in the making right now that we haven't finished up. So there might be like a day where they both just pop up. I don't know. But yeah, if you're here, I'll put the link in the chat just for the people that are chilling right now. Hang in with us.
It may or may not work. Putting a link in there if you're a guest, but it might work because I did just
Oh.
turn on live chat, so it could work.
Okay, well, we'll see if it works.
We wouldn't let Steve post links last week, which was kind of funny. I was like, "You're dodgy, man. Something about your account it doesn't like." Which
Well,
link you're
I have
talking
an
about?
official music note next to my name on my account, so
Oh.
it's like super official. But yeah, I guess it's not clickable, but I did post it in there. That's the link to my page, and then any song that has like the little arrows to Stephen Wesley Giles, that's gonna be a Fortnite song, unless we do one that's not about Fortnite. But I kind of doubt it. They'll probably all be about Fortnite.
I too posted the link. It should be clickable.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, yours is very
I think it filters out
much more
links.
clickable looking.
Yeah, I'm so clickable. Applicable. Okay, another stroke. Okay. Yes. Yeah, Steve and I, we said we'd do a collab or two based on song titles the viewers gave us during our live stream. So
Oh, that's a good idea.
yeah, they were interesting song titles. My favorite one I think was Substitute Cult Leader. Substitute Cult Leader.
You
Like
should do that.
yeah.
I like that too.
like you could make a really funny song about that, but you can make a really dark song out of that too.
Yeah,
Substitute
it could
cult.
be both.
It could, it could be both. Anyway, I'm gonna shift gears indiscreetly. Huh? See what I did there? Um, anyway, I'm gonna do something. Go back to Indiscreet over here. The last song that is not released that we're gonna play is called Sleep, and
Yeah,
this
yeah,
will round out the Indiscreet song. So tell me about Sleep.
this one is so none of these songs are like that happy as far as like lyrical content. So sorry about that. It is, I feel like it is fun to listen to. But I don't know, maybe after we all just went through 2020, it's like, makes sense that we're not getting a lot of tons of like happy music, and I'm making up for it with the Fortnite stuff, okay? Anyway, Sleep is
Game about killing everybody.
Sleep is here. Let me show you this actually. I did like a little Instagram thing about this already, but you know,
That's pretty cool. That's
so
handmade, right?
yeah,
Or
it
hand
is.
stitched.
So well, not hand stitched, like there is a machine involved, but
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, I
this
get,
is
but
my handwriting and it's part of the album art. And look what's inside this little cassette. I'm like so excited about my merch. I can't even not show you. Anyway, so that's what it is. And you're like, how the hell's anyone gonna listen to that? Well, freaking surprise. It's actually a USB thing. So that's how you can put it on whatever you want. But yeah, I love it. And I love that I can just if anybody wants an extra song or something, then I could just pop it onto my computer and like give them an extra song on this.
Mhm.
Um Anyway,
Pretty cool.
the lining in this one, because this one's mine that I'm keeping forever, but the lining is one of my great grandmother's shirts. She died a couple of years ago now, and she was 109.
Wow.
And yeah, when I was driving out, I have to drive through half of South Dakota and most of Wyoming to get out to where she lives. And when I was driving out there when she was in hospice, I wrote the words to the song Sleep. So I thought that was really cool. My mom made this to me for me as like a prototype for my merch, and she lined it with her shirt. And I don't even think my mom knew that Sleep was on this EP and that I wrote it about my great grandmother, which is my mom's mom. Anyway, so when I was driving out there, I wrote these words down, and all throughout 2020, I kept thinking about this song because I kept seeing like people post about, like losing somebody, just because I have like a lot of friends on social media and stuff. And I'd see their post about losing somebody, and they were almost more upset that they weren't able to go to the funeral because of all the travel restrictions right now or
Mm.
that were in place. Um, and it made me think of this song. And I wrote these words basically for myself so that I could kind of be in acceptance with the fact that she might die before I get there and I might not be able to say goodbye. And I feel like a lot of people have been in this situation lately where they're like not able to travel and probably not going to be able to say goodbye to a loved one. So this is like about accepting that and kind of taking it off of you. Like it's not this thing that's happening isn't about you, it's about them. And yeah, so I guess I'll just let you listen to the lyrics and you can kind of make your own decisions about what it is. But I don't know, writing that helped me in that time. And I thought maybe this song could help somebody else kind of clarify and take a step back and realize that it's not about them and they should just be accepting of like what's happening, and maybe it'll help somebody like accept something that's hard that's going on in their life. So that's kind of the main reason, but it ended up being such a beautiful production too, so it's probably my favorite song on the EP.
Sweet. Well, let's play it. Here is Sleep, Katie Dwyer, Indiscreet.
If you need to take your place somewhere far, far away, and I don't want to let you go, but it's not my place. I know to tell you whether you should stay or go. You don't have to wait for me if you need to go to sleep. There's no sense in suffering unnecessarily. The last time that I saw you, you were beautiful and full of light. I'll hold that memory in my heart. I'll hold that memory in my mind. You don't have to wait for me if you need to go to sleep. There's no sense in suffering unnecessarily. It's not my place to make you stay. It's not my place to make you stay.
All right. Yeah, that was a pretty song, and the chat seemed to agree. Jeremy and Mr. Wolfgang there. Shout out to Jeremy. He hosts another podcast called Life Unplugged. Very cool podcast where he talks to family members, and they go back through some of their family history and talk about how they saw things then, how they see it now. It's really cool. It's kind of an unpaid ad. So Jeremy, I'm looking for that check. Just let you know.
That is so cool. Um, yeah, that name sounds familiar. I think you followed me on some kind of place somewhere. So I'm gonna have to find wherever that is and give you a follow back because I feel like for some reason that stuff really interests me. So
It's a good show. I recommend it. I listen to it when it comes out. And his brother was actually one of my guests. A guy named Showtime to Shine, was a guest on my show. And so yeah, it's kind of a big podcast family we got going on there. Steve said he loves the twinkles that come in. Yeah,
yeah.
I thought your phone was ringing or something. I was like, what? Oh, it's part of the song.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's different as far as the production goes, but I don't know. I have some friends that when they record, they want it to be basically a representation of what people will hear if they get hired and do a live show. And I almost went like the other direction with this EP. I was like, no, I just want it to be like a really good listening experience. Like the recording is the product. I'm not trying to like um say like, oh, this is exactly how I sound live. You
Mm.
know, I just used everything at my disposal to make like the whole feeling come through, or that's what I was trying to do. So yeah, it's definitely different than if you just hear me singing and playing guitar, you know. And I kind of love that about this.
So once it's possible again and you can actually do live shows, do you have people in mind to like fill out a band for you, or is that something you'd look to do and try to like do like proper gigs somewhere that wasn't just like that open mic style where it's just like you and a guitar?
Yeah, yeah. I have some friends in town that I could, we could make something work, but in my head, like my dream band would be the people that are recorded, which I mentioned earlier. Rebecca Sykes did the drums for this EP, which that track didn't have any drums. Um, but the other three, she did the drums on those. So to have her in my imaginary band would be freaking sweet. She lives in San Diego though. So, and then in All I Can Do, there was a man harmony in the chorus, and I failed to mention that that was a classmate of mine. His name's Will Evans, and I believe he lives in like Central Texas. So, like, I don't know. That'd be cool if he was in my band too, but I live in South Dakota. My drummer's in San Diego, and my man vocalist is in Texas.
My man,
So,
my
yes,
vocalist. Um, yeah, that'd be a cool band name though, the Imaginary Band.
I bet that's already a band name.
Probably so. You
It's
know
too
what? And
cool. It's too cool
I'm
to like not
I'm
have
not
like three different bands named after it already. You know
I'm
what I
not
mean?
going to speculate. I'm just going to Google it while I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
Imaginary Band on Amazon Music. Yep.
See, there you
There
go.
we are. Top albums. Old Soul Shine. Yeah, it's already been done. Jerks. All
I
right.
wish everybody thought like that and searched names before they started using them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was like, you know what? I don't care if there is an artist named G Slade. That's my freaking name. So I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that too.
Which is cool because I can get away with hashtagging my stuff Slade, which is a band, very famous band. So
Oh, I didn't know.
yeah. Well, they're huge, man. No, I don't listen to them either, but they were big in like the late 70s, early 80s, maybe later. Obviously, I don't listen to them because I don't know much about them, but they were a rock band. So Wolfgang said Katie's Imaginary Band. That
Yeah,
could be
so
one.
that can't be a thing, right?
I don't know, man.
I don't know either. I'm like never going to assume that it's not a thing again. So, lesson
Made
learned.
a joke in one that you probably can't even name yourself like the Turtle Slapping Donkeys. That's probably a band
Slide
name.
Egan.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that band is name is taken because the first stuff that comes up is not that, but I won't read it. So you can Google that on your own, guys, if you want to see what comes up when you Google Katie's Imaginary Band. That would be a cool band name, though.
Yeah. Oh, I have one
Unfortunately,
more
though,
person in my imaginary band, and
oh, who's
that's my friend Maria. And she would have to do all the backing vocals that I can't do because I'd be singing the main vocal.
Jeremy wants to know what cities you have performed in.
Oh, well, so I mostly performed in the cities that I lived in. So that's like Murrieta and Temecula area in California. And then I lived in San Diego for several years. So I played a lot of the venues in San Diego. I played like when I lived in South Carolina, I mostly just played in this little dive bar. And I feel like there was like three different bars that I played in when I lived in Charleston, South Carolina, and I don't really remember any of their names. So sorry.
Oops.
Yeah.
You know
But
they
I
should have made a bigger impression. Maybe you'd remember.
right. But that's the thing is who asked me that? Jeremy. I've also kind of daydreamed and thought about like what it would be like to tour, and I'm not that attracted to putting that all together and going on a tour. I feel like you need like a really big online following first because then you have people in all these different places, you know?
Yeah, but you build an
Um,
online following doing that. So it's kind of
yeah,
like chicken and egg, right? You know, that's kind of how you
right.
get.
Yeah, it's like which one comes first kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, there's people that disagree and say, like, oh, you should go on tour and then that's how you get your fans. And it's like, is that true? I don't know. But yeah, I've like I said, like I also when I lived in San Diego, you know, that was like my early to mid 20s, and I was like pregnant at least half the shows that I played. I was pregnant while I played. So, you know, you can't really go on tour if you're pregnant, which again, not really going to be an issue for me going forward. But for a long time, you know, it was. So, yeah, I feel like now I'm finally at the point where I can start daydreaming about tours, especially now that we have like this light at the end of the tunnel, the pandemic tunnel that we're in. um, I have a lot of friends too because I took these online production courses and ended up kind of like meeting a lot of these people through Zoom and everything. So now I have friends like all over the country that I could probably hit up and play a show with them and sleep on their couch if I wanted to.
Hmm.
And I definitely want to play some shows in Chicago, and I definitely want to play some shows in Omaha. And
Omaha.
then I
Why
don't know,
Omaha? That's a weird one for me. Like,
is it? I
well, to
feel
me, it
like there's,
like that's why I'm asking.
well, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of really cool venues in Omaha, I guess. And I don't know, me and my husband went there for it was kind of this like really weird show. I guess also I just like some bands that are based out of there. And I'm like,
Mm.
ooh, that'd be so cool if I could like open for them. And like, how do I do that? They're not going to come play in the middle of South Dakota, which is where I currently am. But
That's
yeah,
the
if I could,
destination. What are you talking about? Everybody knows it's the better of the Dakotas.
I mean, it is the better of the Dakotas, but that's still like not saying
You
very
got those
much.
faces
Like,
on
have
the
you been
rocks
to
and all
North
that.
Dakota?
You know,
It's
you got
yeah,
the mountains with the faces and
yeah. That's not even like a good thing, honestly.
what's that little tourist trap town at the bottom of that mountain? It's got all those little gift shops and stuff. I remember driving through there one time on a
I
project.
don't know. I don't know. When you say tourist trap town of South Dakota, then I think Wall Drug because if you've ever driven through, it's like there's just a really weird amount of signs that tell you to stop in Wall Drug, and so
Interesting.
you do.
Well,
But
I did a few different projects in that what's that old town in South Dakota? It's got all the damn casinos in it. It's like just a street of casinos. Have you seen that? I'm trying to
no,
remember.
Deadwood.
Deadwood. Yeah,
Okay.
Deadwood.
Yes.
It's just like a street of casinos there. And old hotels. And that's not that far from the Mount Rushmore area. And when we drove to see Mount Rushmore, right before you go up the hill to the where you view the Rushmore, there's like this town that's just like all kind of gift shops and other things that you would see in like a destination town.
Custer. I don't know.
I don't remember the name of it.
I like don't really go there. I don't really I don't know. I feel like Mount Rushmore is one of those things like where when you see it like once, it's like you saw it. That's
Yeah,
it.
it's really
So, you know,
underwhelming too, isn't it?
it is. I feel like a lot of the really great photographers that, you know, post these pictures of Mount Rushmore, you don't realize that they're zooming in. It's not that big. So,
You can't
like
get
you
very
get there
close.
and you see it and you're just like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's smaller than I thought." Like, I don't know. I'm not saying it's like really small, but I'm just saying like if you've never seen it in person, you might think it's bigger.
Yeah. And we're talking about Mount Rushmore for anyone that just joined in the middle of that
Just in
sentence.
case. Yeah.
Just saying, we don't. I'm not going to say it's a kids show, but it's not quite that much of an adult show. Anyway, so Fortnite, that's a good segue. But yeah, no, Rushmore very underwhelming. But yeah, Deadwood's the only experience I really have in South Dakota, and going to Rushmore. But I mean, it's pretty up there. At least there's that. Like when it's not full of snow, I thought it was pretty. Not Deadwood per se, but some of the like country area, the more rural area, you know. So,
Yeah, I feel like that's like we do have different areas of South Dakota that have different landscapes though, and the drive from the Black Hills where Mount Rushmore is to where I live, which is in the middle of the state, is a very boring, flat, grassy drive of nothing. and it's like 3 hours. So I don't really live in the pretty part. I do live on the river. Yeah, Sioux Falls is boring. LOL. And Sioux Falls is our biggest city. That's the most exciting place. So I don't know what to tell you. It doesn't get more exciting than Sioux Falls. And yeah,
Yeah,
there
actually,
are actually some places that I really want to play in Sioux Falls. And I kind of had started to plan like gigs there, and then the pandemic hit, and I was really sad about that because I wanted to play at Total Drag, which is like this really cute record store venue place. And I can't even remember, there was another one. I played at Bin 201 down there, and that was a great gig because I like money, but it wasn't a great gig because, you know, it's like you play cover songs for 4 hours. So it was one of those.
I don't like cover bands. I don't know what it is. I feel like I want to hear, but it may
Yeah,
be
it's
because
a struggle out here.
I like new indie music, so maybe that's why I don't like cover
Exactly.
bands. That's not why I go out. You know, if I want to hear those songs, I'd go to those bands show. But I mean, I understand the business reason for doing it. It's easier probably to get booked doing covers than it is to get booked or like, yeah, we're an original band. Listen to our music. They're like, nah, can you
Yeah.
just play play that funky music and Brick House? Can you just do that and then leave us alone? We'll give you a beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, it's like it's funny. I feel like for a long time I was like, cuz I don't know, when I was a younger songwriter, and I felt like that was my art form, was the songwriting and then performing the songs that I wrote. And so when people would say, "Oh, do you know how to play this song and this song and this song?" I would just kind of be like, "Well, I don't really do covers." And I really didn't do covers for like a long time. And then when I moved out here, I realized, well, that's what gigs are available. They want you to
Mhm.
play for like 3 or 4 hours in this public setting where you're kind of just background entertainment, you know? And and again, like since I like money, I went ahead and did those gigs,
How
but
about you
I've
work at the
kind of
bank if you
slowly
like money?
started to, you know, like not like those as much, and I'm finding better ways of like, you know, of doing things where I get to still be an artist, not just like this girl that can play other people's songs, you know? I've never wanted to be that. But playing music is really fun. So like if you can go to one of your favorite breweries and get paid just to play music for like 4 hours, that's not a bad gig either. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's a toss up.
Be a cool
If I
day
have to
job,
travel,
you know?
right, yeah. So it's like sometimes I'm really in the mood to do those kind of gigs. And I'm like, I don't care if nobody pays attention to me. If I get to go to like my favorite brewery and have a beer and just play music, then like
Hmm.
that's a pretty cool job.
Well, like
So,
you were saying you worked at a bank. I mean, I'm sure playing covers is more exciting than whatever you did at the bank.
right, yeah. I mean, counting money is kind of fun. You get really good at it. But yeah, it's
It's not your money though. Like that would
oh
irritate me,
yeah.
you know?
Really? I don't know. It was fine. I learned a lot too,
Yeah.
like you know, just about finances, probably things that I should have already known, but you know, now I know them. And I
That's
really
cool.
like helping people, which is another reason I think that like back to if we move like way back to like your first question you asked me about why you know, this year all of a sudden I'm promoting myself, putting myself out there as a musician. Um I feel like yeah, that kind of has something to do with it.
I got you. I got you. Cool. Um, we got time if you want me. I can throw another Fahm song up here that you and Steven.
Sure. Yeah, if you want to play the one that's not with Steve,
Oh,
it's
I can do
not
that one too.
Fortnite-y. I know it's not super exciting. It's actually a phone recording
It's not
of
all about
me
Steve.
playing ukulele in my bathroom.
It's not all
So,
about you, Steve.
but actually me and Steve's songs are really fantastic. So, I don't know if you want to keep going play more, you know, Fortnite ones. Those are
If you
super
guys are
fun.
listening or other farmers, then you already know how to go check out Katie and Steve's stuff. If you're not farmers, what are you doing with your life? Go to fawm.org, FAWM.org. Sign up, listen, write, comment, whatever you want to do. It's a great month. Lots of fun. It'll change your life and your tires. But here we go. This is I'll probably miss this. You said this is a phone recording. Quick background on the song before I play it.
Oh, well, so this is like I said earlier, typical Katie Dwyer Fom song. So basically, whatever I was thinking, just my train of thought, I was writing it down, and then I grabbed an instrument and started playing and singing the words that I wrote down. So very much like, I don't know. You can just play it. It's kind of pandemic related, I guess, and I was just reflecting on my own experience.
Pandemical. All right, here we go. It's gonna be like a tagline of this episode. I'm gonna mute myself and play the song.
If I have to be trapped inside, in a way it's kind of nice that it happened at this time in my life. And I might even miss this, yes, I'll probably miss this. What is boredom? I can't even remember. I've never worked so much before, and my home is never quiet. There's so much love beyond these doors, and I might even miss this, yes, I'll probably miss this. Oh, I might even miss this. I'll probably miss this.
It was like perfect timing. Yeah, I was well, yeah, what Wolfgang said. I'm still in your record deal. No, do not trust your music
Nice.
career to me. Yeah. No, my phone was like blowing up while you were talking, and they left a voicemail, and I was
Uh-oh.
so it's no big deal. Somebody can't log on to something, whatever. It just means that they should go gamble instead. Anyway. No,
Yeah,
that
Jake
sounded.
Crossman. That
Do
was
what?
live. That was just like a one take little phone recording that I did in my bathroom with a ukulele.
Are you gonna do more with it, or were you happy and moving on?
I think I will. Sometimes I don't. With Fom songs, it's kind of a toss up. Sometimes I just write them and I'm just like meh, like that's just like a meh song that I'm not really gonna like do anything else with. But that one, the past couple days has kind of like gotten stuck in my head, and I showed somebody like some friends and they loved it, and I was like, well, okay, like if it's getting stuck in my head and other people love it, then that's probably a sign that I should do some more with it. And so with
Mhm.
that one, I feel like it does need a bridge. It doesn't have a bridge, like the version that you just played. Um, so I don't know what I'll do. It might even just be like a instrumental break sort of bridge where I don't sing. But if I think of more lyrics that sort of go, or if there's anything missing that I don't feel like I really emphasized enough or said in the song, then that'll be like a good opportunity to sort of put that in there. And then, yeah.
I got you. Let's see, Crossman, the process. He's asking if all your stuff starts out like that, like this one.
Yeah, no, not all of them start like that. Jay
Yeah, no.
Crossman, it's definitely a lot of variety in like the way that songs sort of come to me, if that's even a thing. Um, Sometimes, um, well, so first I guess I'll talk about FOM. So FOM is February album writing month. That's how me and G Slade, like, we go way back because we're FOMers.
Pretty far,
And
2008 or 9. Yeah.
9. Yeah, 9 for me was that. That was the first year that I did February album writing month, and I was still like a teenager living at my parents' house at that
Yeah.
time. So
You
it was like so crazy to
weren't
think
even
back
Katie
on that.
Dwyer yet.
Yeah, I was Katie Schumacher. That's my maiden name. Anyway, yeah, long time ago. And the writing process during FOM, I feel like is a little bit different than the writing process for me throughout the rest of the year. And that's because I feel like you kind of have to try during February if you really want to write 14 songs in the 28 days of February. And I've slacked off more years than I've actually done that and completed the challenge. But what I do for February is I take out my phone and my notebooks, anything that I've had throughout the year that I have written down snippets of ideas. And so for my phone, I might have like voice memos, and it might just be like a chord progression that I really liked. It might just be a chord progression with me humming a melody, or it might just be an a cappella, me holding my phone and singing something that the line just came to me with a melody already and I wanted to remember it. And so I take all these little bits and pieces that I've kind of collected since the last February, and then I sort of try to make them into songs. I just sort of try to elaborate um, on what was already there. And sometimes that comes really easily. And if it doesn't come really easily, then sometimes I'll just move on and take another little piece, like a line or a melody or whatever it was, and sort of try to turn it into a song. Um, and depending on what that piece was, like if it was like a voice memo that's guitar and me humming, then the next step is lyrics. But if it's I grab a notebook and some old notebook entry has a line that I really like, then I have to look at that line and think about the rhythm of the words and maybe a melody that emphasizes the words that want to be emphasized. So it's definitely like really, really different starting points for all these different ways of writing. And I think throughout the rest of the year, it's mostly words and a melody come to me, or at least words that have a natural rhythm so that I kind of have an idea of how fast I want the song to be. And then I work around that. So, yeah, so many ways to write songs.
That's kind of the essence of fun, right? There's no wrong way to do the challenge.
Yeah.
As long as you're being pure to the spirit and writing new songs. That's art in general, right? There's no right way to do art. It's all subjective, you know. Uh, and I think FOM is fun because it gives you like a yearly benchmark against what you were doing last year, and the lessons you've learned and applied or your progress. You can always compare like your FOM tracks and be like, okay, yeah, I got a little better, or I got a little better, or I did this, and it's that's been pretty fun for me. It's definitely my main writing time of the year. I mean, I try to write all year long, but FOM, I don't know. It's more fun because everybody's like expecting you to do it. So I don't know. You feel like you're in the middle of something.
Yeah.
Do you ever 50/90? I don't really do that much anymore.
I
Um,
think I did like the first year, I want to say like the first year that I was married, I went ahead and I tried 50/90. So like before I had children. And then after I had children, I stopped 50/90ing. Which
yeah.
I don't even feel like I got close to the 50 out of the 90, but it was kind of a fun thing just to, I don't know, whatever songs that I did write, post and get feedback from people that I knew were sort of doing the same thing, you know?
Yeah, I think I did more like the first um year or the first couple of years than I ever did again, because after that, I don't know, I took it more seriously and was trying to like make better stuff. Whereas the first time I was just like, blah, there's a song, blah, just vomiting under the microphone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird because people are so polite too. Like no one will be like, yeah, I wouldn't pursue this song anymore. I was joking with Volpine. I was like, I'm gonna put this on Falm, and like everyone's just gonna obligatory be polite about it, even though it's not that great. Like my first song was just a mess. It was all over the place, and I posted it, and I was a little joke. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get really polite comments on this shitty song. you know,
That's, I mean, probably true. But
it is.
I kind of like the ones that are like not super polite, unless it's just, I don't know. Like there's like this line that is, constructive criticism and like mansplaining territory where they're just telling you like to change like the artistic side of your song, and you're just kind of like, this
Yeah.
is like my art that I made, so like, you know, you're welcome to say like how you would do it, but don't tell me to like change like concrete aspects of the song. You know, like
Right.
I don't know.
Well, and I think you can, if you could put like in your liner notes even what you're looking for. If you're looking for any constructive feedback, like on my profile, it says, "Hey, say whatever you want. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I want to get better." If you hear something that obviously sucks, be like, "Yeah, you shouldn't have done that. You should do this." Because everybody on Falm knows something I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, like you're doing production classes, if you know, hey, you should have used delay there instead of reverb, or use this filter instead of that. That's stuff I want to know. I mean, now if you just hate the song and you're like, you suck, you shouldn't make music. I mean, okay, but that's probably not helpful, or a place like there's no place for that. I don't think on Fawn, but it's kind of funny. I'm okay with somebody listening and not leaving a comment like that. I don't like tally up at the end of the month. If you listen and you don't like, I suck at commenting. If you read my comments, I'm like, hey, I like this.
I
That's about
comment as I listen. So mine are like kind of go as the song goes, and it's usually again just my train of thought just being spurted out through my typing fingers.
yeah.
And I don't know.
That to
It's
me,
whatever
I
I find
do.
interesting or funny.
Yeah. If I do that, I write a more interesting comment, because
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, well, if nothing else, it might make them giggle. So,
but
oh well.
normally my comments are just, it looks like I'm just having a psychotic break, while I'm typing. But yeah, I like Crossman's question there. I don't like comparisons to other songs and artists. How do we feel about those? So go ahead.
Yeah, I like that question too. And I think that my answer has evolved over the years. Like if you would have asked me that question, like I talked about when I was a teen and in my early 20s and like writing like really the first songs that I really thought were good enough to like go somewhere to do something with, to spend time on. Um, I really didn't want to do covers. And one of the reasons was because I didn't like the idea of, like let's say I cover a Shania Twain song, then I feel like I'm automatically going to be compared to Shania Twain. If I cover an Avril Lavigne song, then everybody's going to start comparing me to Avril Lavigne. And I was like, I don't like that because I just want these songs to just, you know, I'm not trying to sound like anyone else. And so I didn't really want to have cover songs in my sets and stuff. And that was one of the reasons why, is because I didn't really want to be compared to other artists. I was just trying to do my own thing. I'm not trying to sound like anybody else. But the flip side of that for me is that over the years, it's usually at live gigs. I'll play my songs and I've gotten the best recommendations from people. And it's because they thought that I sounded like, or one of my songs gave them the same feeling as some other artist. And they'll say, oh, have you ever listened to this before? And some of my favorite artists now, it's because at some point somebody said, you remind me of so and so. And so I went and listened to them and I'm like, oh, well, good, because I like this,
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's the only upside to being compared to other artists, is because I've gotten really good recommendations. So I don't know anymore. I guess I don't care anymore.
Yeah. I guess for me, it would depend on who they're comparing me to.
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
uh, One dude, or this couple I used to hang out with. This is like early, like '09 or '08, even maybe my first, because I did 50, 90 and '08, started farm in '09, and somewhere in that area, probably '09. But they said that one of my songs reminded them of some Lou Reed track, and I looked it up. I was like, well, he did a whole album of Noise. So is that the one you were talking about?
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
That's
I
funny.
don't know how I
Yeah.
feel about that comment. But I think he was just trying to say, like, yeah, he doesn't sing that much either, and you don't sing either. So, But it's fun. My stuff's a little spastic. I don't get compared a lot, especially vocally. I don't think I sound like anybody. But yeah, it would just depend on who it is. The first song I posted depending on who posted the comment, you wouldn't know who the hell it sounded like because they were all over the place with it. So, but that was the one I told dude, I was like, this is gonna be a weird one. People have to give feedback on it. Yeah, Metal Machine Music. I think that was it. Yeah. Steve said he's flattered by any comparison. Steve's got some good stuff though, but you can't compare Steve. He's what, 8 or 9 different artists rolled into one, um, which is cool. It works. But if you guys want to know more about Steve, go watch his episode. It's in the archives and on the YouTube page. So cool. Well, Katie, I've had a good time. I don't know if you have anything else you wanted me to play today or not.
I don't think so. Like I feel like we played the ones. I guess if you guys want to hear the last track on the EP, then that's the one that I released already as a single. So that's why I told G Slade like, well, we just don't have to play that one because I could just tell people to go listen to it. So Wrong With Me is probably the most dramatic of my little drama lady EP. And that one is already released. It's the 4th song on my EP. And you can find it, I don't know, all over the internet, wherever you want to listen to music, basically. So yeah.
Steve made a
And
good
then
point.
I'll give
Go ahead.
my merch a shout out because it's so cute. I love it so much. And you can just, yeah, basically I just want everybody who likes the EP to like own one of these because I am in love with it and I can't wait to mail them out. I'm going to mail out the first little batch on Monday. So
How do they get that?
oh, well, so if you are in a different country that is not the United States, then go to my Bandcamp. Because I don't know, just do that. But if you are in the United States, then go to my website because it'll be just slightly cheaper that way.
And what is your website, Mrs. Dwyer?
KatieDwyer.com.
Makes
Just
sense.
my name.com.
Cool. Justmyname.com. That's probably a
No,
website.
don't do that. Don't go there. I don't know what that is. Could be dangerous.
Steve did make a good point though. He said if people compare you to something, it's probably something they love, so it's a compliment, in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get off on another side story because we just talked about Wrong With Me, so we're gonna play that. But what did Crossman say? Yeah, or the one thing they know, like Lou Reed is talky, so every talkie is like Lou Reed. That's true. And back then, that's probably what I was doing because I wasn't doing like hip hop stuff yet, and so I wasn't really singing either. It was like if Tom Petty was on Muscle Relaxers or something, which Tom Petty probably was on Muscle Relaxers, but you know what I mean? If he took a lot of them and he was like, blah, blah, that was me, But anyway, let's play Wrong With Me. So we played the whole EP at this point after we played this one.
Yeah, this is the last track. Will you do the thing you did for, I can't remember his name. I watched one of your episodes. It was 2 episodes ago, so not Mr. G.
I don't know.
The other guy. You don't remember your person that you interviewed?
Not the order. I don't remember the exact order.
It was like young looking.
It was on YouTube.
Yes, it was on YouTube. I watched it on YouTube.
I don't know. Hang on.
No, not Volpine.
No, Volpine hadn't done a live show yet.
And I would know.
Yeah, we would know. So was it? Oh, World's Not Gray. That guy.
Yeah.
Okay, what'd I do for him?
I don't remember where I was going with that. Sorry. You.
It was your request.
Oh, now I remember. So when I watched that one, I really liked that you brought up his Spotify. Can you bring up my Spotify like that?
Oh, yeah.
Cute looking.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hang on, I gotta adjust what I'm sharing here. That just sounds like a good idea in general.
Is that confusing if I call you G Slade and Steve Mr. G?
No, I
Okay.
didn't even, because I've never been like, I'm Mr. G Slade. I'm
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, that sounds weird. Don't do that.
yeah, I got your Spotify up on the screen. You'll have to pardon my brain. It's got atrophy. If you've heard the other episodes, you've heard me mention it a couple of times. That's official. That's a doctor wrote that down.
I
So,
don't even know what that means now. I'm curious.
you ever heard of like a muscle atrophies if you don't use it? Which, haha, that's funny, right? Don't use the brain. But like if you don't, like if you break an arm or something and it's in a cast for months, and then you take it out, like your one arm's bigger than the other because this one's atrophied.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so
Uh-huh.
essentially there's more room between my brain and skull than there should be because the allegedly the brain is shrunk. But at least it's congruent, right? It's they call it diffuse, which means it's shrunk everywhere, not just one place.
That's really weird. I've never heard
Yeah.
of that. I
Yeah,
guess I
by the
don't know
time
how
I'm
weird it is because you wouldn't really know if that happened to like most people or not.
by the time I'm 50, I probably won't even know who I am. So I could just start all over.
It sounds actually horrible.
But I got at least a good decade to go, so plenty more episodes. But when the episodes start getting really weird, it's really kicking in. So anyway, yeah, it was kind of depressing, but it's kind of funny. Geez, freaking me out. Sorry, Crossman. I didn't mean to. It's okay. I'm happy. I'm good. We're all good. My doctor actually, well, the neurologist is the one that told me about it. And my regular doctor's like, don't worry about it. So I think I'm gonna get a new doctor. I don't know. I think I'm gonna get a new one. I'm like, I think we should explore this.
I
All
feel
right,
like
let me.
doctors are like that though.
Yeah, let's share the screen here. Where do I got you? You're on screen 1.
How many screens do you have? Now I'm curious.
Lots. I only have 2 physical screens, but I have lots of windows open, so Zoom wants to know which one I want to share. All right, so now on YouTube, you should start seeing your Spotify.
I see it.
Cool. Well, let's play it. And one thing we do obviously is we add you to the show's playlist. So
Oh, cool.
that is
I like
officially on.
that.
Yeah, and when the EP is out, I'll add the rest of them because we've played them all on the show. So yeah, that's what I do, man. If obviously there's a long
I'll have
Spotify
to,
URL.
feature it or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you can feature playlists on your
Yeah, you
Spotify?
should. That'd be cool. That'd be like mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
Yeah, if my guests have Spotify music, I always do that for them, whatever songs we play. And then how you can edit a playlist so the album art changes. I always throw the latest people on the top. So it's like
Cool.
the
Yeah.
last 4 guests. So, but yeah, let me mute my mic again. We'll play Wrong With Me and we'll be right back.
You work harder than me. There's something in you, a drive that I could never be. Stuck here frozen, staring into space, while you're moving at super speed. I may stand still, but my mind is racing, pictures flicker faster than a cinema reel. Paralyzed by all the things there are to do. I couldn't start even if I wanted to. There's something wrong with stuck in the cold. Through the misty morning haze, but I don't know where to go. I carry you on my back, yeah, I'm never alone. And you're sleeping soundly like I'm the perfect pillow. I guess you don't know. There's something wrong with me that you can't see. Trapped inside my own mind, no escaping. There's something wrong with me that you can't see. Trapped inside my own mind, no escaping, no escaping. Well, baby, that's fine. We're all destined to die. Well, maybe that's fine. We're all destined to die.
All right. Yeah, it looks cool with your Spotify up on the screen. I did that one time on one of my first, or no, my second live stream, I think. I was like, yeah, it looks really dope, especially on the, if you're watching it on like a cell phone. Over 500 monthly listeners, though. That's exciting.
Yeah. I feel like it's actually gone down. I did reach over 700 and now it's like slowly declining. And I'm like, okay, well, oh well. I'll release my EP and then I'll see it go back up again. So it is what it is. But
So, it's a podcast about indie musicians as much as it is for indie musicians. So what do you think you did, for other folks that might be interested to up that listener base? Was it all organic? Did you invest a little in promotion? I mean, give us the scoop.
yeah, well, I've kind of like heard a lot of different like marketing techniques and stuff like that, and I just didn't want to do anything sketchy because I feel like there are a lot of playlists out there that they're like, oh, we would love to put your song on our playlist, just send me $15. Like,
No.
that's sketchy, you know what I mean? And so for Wrong With Me, I did have like a couple of people reach out and say that, and I looked at their playlist. I'm like, you've thousands of people, apparently people, listening to this playlist every month, but that's sketchy to me. And so the EP that I did before this was actually a collaborative EP with two friends. One is in London. Actually, she just moved to New Zealand, and the other is in Chicago. And I mentioned her earlier, Maria. Anyway, that one upped all of our listeners because we had shared listeners because there was all three of our names on this EP. So then naturally our listeners were boosted because we're sharing an audience. So I think that was like the main thing that I did that really kind of upped the audience for a while. And I know that we had some songs like get on different various playlists. I don't think anything was like a huge playlist or anything, but yeah, that was, I mean, it was fun and nice. And I feel like when I saw that like 700, like when I reached over 700, I was like, oh, like we're getting up there. Like I can almost see 1,000 in my future. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. But at the same time, I don't want it to be fake, like I don't,
Yeah.
like I'm not
Yeah.
not sitting here just like trying to get the highest numbers I can. Otherwise, I would already have paid, various playlists to put me on their playlist that may or may not be filled with bot listeners, you
Mhm.
know? And yeah, I just wanted to know how my song was doing for real. So I didn't do that, Like if somebody loves the song enough and they have a playlist, then they'll put it on their playlist.
I guess the caveat to that, or like the flip side, or devil's advocate, if you will, is that there may be a million people that would love your song, but they have to hear it somehow. You know,
Yeah, exactly. And I have those contradicting thoughts too. I'm like, oh, but the playlist is like, somebody is taking the time to create this list and, they want the right music and they want, some money for the time that they're spending doing this work. So I'm like, I understand that, and it's like, okay, that makes it tempting. But yeah, I've been so back and forth and I don't know. I think I just need to talk to some other musicians that are on um like whatever specific playlist that they're on and just kind of see what their feedback is about whether they thought that it was like sketchy, whether people were actually saving the song or, did they get streams and then nobody actually saved the song and nobody actually followed their profile? Because, that's like something that you're going for if you're going for discoverability. So I don't know. Those were my
good
thoughts.
point. Did I follow your profile? Oh, it says following. You can go back to the screenshot and look. I didn't just follow it. I was already following it. So I'm legit. And yeah, my playlist doesn't have a ton of followers, but it has 7 hours of music. So there's that. That's one of those things where like I was halfway into doing the podcast early on, and I was like, it looks good for the algorithms and stuff for you to be on playlists. So let me make one for the guest on the show. Pretty popular thing. If you go to that and just hit shuffle play, you're gonna hear some pretty good stuff. And it's some Falmers, some non-Falmers. It's been about half and half on the show so far. Um, Man, but it's just a ton of fun because everybody's so different. And like you brought up the World's Not Great show. That guy's in Barbados. I've done a show with Australian people and English folks and Belgium and Amsterdam and all that fun stuff. So it's definitely an international show. And like we said before we came on, it's trending well in Canada. So
I can't find like what I was listening to, but I stumbled upon a playlist that was both music and podcasts, and I thought that was the coolest thing. It's the first time I've seen that. It was just yesterday, so I'll have to
sound,
find that. But
sounds
if
like my show.
yeah, exactly. Like, but you could totally do that with the show too. Like, have the artist song and then have the
Oh,
podcast that resulted.
put their
Yeah.
podcast.
It was all
Maybe
mixed together though. It was like music. Some of the tracks were music and some of them were podcasts. And
I
I thought
guess
that
in
was so
my
neat.
my analytical brain, I'm like, well, if they want to hear the podcast, they'll just go to the show page, and if they want to hear the music, they'll go to the playlist. I don't know, but I only have one perspective, and it's slowly shrinking. So you know,
Oh my gosh. No, just make one that's both. If you can. I don't even know if
Mm, I don't know. Can
more
you add
people
a?
of the world can do that.
Let me see. I mean, I still have my Spotify pulled up.
I didn't stop my camera. Why did I do that? Okay, there
It
we go.
just yeah, you had to focus it.
Yeah.
If I go to my playlist and I click an episode, I can add it to a playlist. Yeah. I mean, I could make like the ultimate G Slade indie music playlist by putting the shows
The
like
shows and the
like
music. I
yeah.
would listen to that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
But all the music's in the show. So
Well, I don't know. Maybe
and then if you put
I'll
it on
have to
shuffle
tell
play,
you.
it'd be all over the place because you'd hear like your episode, right? Because we're gonna throw the audio up there. Um, and then you would hear like someone else's song if it was on like you'd hear a Bomnium or something, you'd hear you talking and then you'd hear "Rah," on the vocals. So it'd be kind of but you'd hear your entire show.
You gotta make different vibes for your playlists.
Well, I will give it an experiment and see how it goes. I mean, I got nothing to lose. I'll
Yeah,
take it.
like I have like a chill vibes playlist. It's just all this soft, like more like ambient sort of things. And then I've got my like indie rock playlist.
Mhm.
And then yeah, like you gotta make the different vibes.
Sounds like another thing for Volpine to figure out. Exactly. I'm glad you guys are understanding that. Volpine's the mastermind behind all
You
this.
can do it. We believe in you.
He's behind me right now. Anyway, that'd be funny if my background just suddenly switched to his face, but I don't know if I have that picture downloaded or I just do that real cleverly, like. But anyway, you gotta love green screens, right? Like, they're so much fun. Like
Yeah.
you could put a movie on and everything. I
You
thought about.
definitely need to figure out OBS so you can, just assign some hotkeys and then you could
Mhm.
just be like Volpine's face and then just take it away.
I'm gonna work on it. Like, it's on the to-do list, but I'm also farming, right? That's going
Yeah,
on.
FOM is important. You gotta FOM.
The whole job thing, got to pay attention to the whole job thing. As you can
Jobs are
see, I
important.
can't even take a day off, right? I've literally solved 3 problems during this podcast. Like, that's
Well, you did a beautiful job.
Thank you. That's the IT life. We should carry a picture of him around there already. He's always up here, Crossman, always up here. And just wait till we hook up on a song some point this month. It's going to be awesome. And hopefully Katie and I will do one too. I try to be greedy and just collaborate with all the heavy hitters. So that's my goal anyway. And usually it's people that I've known since the 09 phone, because I don't know, for some reason, like that first year, the bonds were just really, I don't know, they stuck more than the ones I've met later. Katie's green screen background is so realistic. It is.
Crazy, right?
She's definitely got me beat.
Like, I'm in this studio. You would never know that I'm in a cardboard box.
I Go by Neek just jumped on. Shout out to I Go by Neek. They were on my show. One of the first live streams. That was a good one. If you guys hadn't seen that one, you should definitely watch it. One of the few hip hop artists I've had on the show, which was dope. Yeah, I don't think I have a Volpine photo to just throw up there. I'm sure I could try to find one.
I put something in our Zoom chat.
What is this you added? Is this something I should be sharing?
You can if you want to. It's a beat that I made. I just want you to judge me.
Okay. Should we play it for everyone and we all judge you?
Sure.
Give me a moment and we'll do that.
It's like the podcast that never ends. There's always more material.
I am okay with that. Boom.
Oh, it's terrifying. It's the scariest picture you could have picked.
Well, this is the artwork we used for the show when he was on. So there you go. It's like we're all hanging out now. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Anyway. But just in case he would, we'll go back to the real one. All right, there we go. Let me see. Let's go to the Zoom chat and copy this.
The beat tag is so hilarious on this website, by the way. It's not me that decided to put it there.
Let me share my sound again.
I really need to make more. I told myself that I would, and I would just post them as FOM songs as well. That way it's like takes care of 2 things at once.
Is Heartbeat Kick your DJ name?
That's my DJ name.
Sweet.
I actually don't know how to DJ at all. That's my beat maker name.
So there's like 5 things here.
Oh, sorry. Pick the You Wanna Stay one, because that one has my lady vocals in it.
Your lady vocals, sweet.
Yeah.
Now that you're making beats, I feel like you should do the music for a collab for us instead of me.
Ooh, you want me to send you a beat? Should I make a beat and send it to you? And then you can like do whatever you want?
Or make a beat, put a cool
chorus in there?
Put a cool chorus on it, and I'll write to your chorus.
Okay, I'll do it.
That would be way.
Give me chorus ideas, like just lyrical, like what do you want to write about, and then you know what I mean, like what. Give me some, I don't know, like content ideas of like what you would want to write about or what's on your mind, and then I'll like write the chorus so that it kind of fits in whatever's already in your head.
Well, that should be interesting. I'll work on that. G should get some raps queued up for however that works for the beats. That sounds accurate. Yes. If you guys are into rap, though, check out that I Go By Neek episode. Excellent songs on that one. I actually put them in my regular playlist. Like I have a random playlist, and it's like 38 hours long because I've just been adding stuff to it for like 5 years. Whenever I like a
Oh my
song.
gosh.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, let me mute myself again, and we'll play your beat. You Want to Stay, and then we'll
You
be all
should
good.
rap to it right now.
It's not going to be in sync. I think Steven and I came into that.
No, I just meant that you and Steven weren't in sync. But if the audio is coming through you and then you're going through you, then I feel like it should work. As long as I don't start singing, then it'll work.
One thing we established on one of my other episodes is freestyling is not my skill. I have to
Okay.
write. I have to.
Noted. So probably
But-
don't then, I guess.
I can. I'll see if anything strikes me while I'm listening to it. I do like the tags though. That's pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
For I didn't share the screen, but it's tagged as Post Malone, which and female vocals. So
'Cause
those
I feel
two.
like Post Malone has like some stuff that's like really pop leaning, and that's this. So
I thought his latest album was really good. Hollywood Is Bleeding was pretty good.
is that the one with Sunflower on it?
Maybe. I think so. Yeah.
I don't know, but I freaking love the Spider-Verse movie and that song.
It's probably the new album then. Don't make me lie, but it sounds like one of the tracks from the new album.
Oh, I can't hear it on your end.
I haven't played anything.
Oh, well, I thought you said okay. I thought you were hearing it.
Nope. No, I said it's like Sunflower. It sounds like a song title from the recent album. When we're talking about Post Malone.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. Moving on. Here's the beat, y'all.
You really wanna
BeatStars.com.
stay tonight, don't you? But I've gotta go away. You really wanna stay tonight, don't you? I don't got time for these games.
I feel like it's so boring if nobody raps.
BeatStars.com.
You really wanna stay tonight, don't ya? But I've gotta go away. You really wanna stay tonight,
BeatStars.com.
don't ya? I don't got time for these games, no, no, no. You really wanna stay tonight, don't ya? But I've gotta go away. You really wanna stay tonight, don't ya? I don't got time for your games, no, 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 no. No, 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 no.
BeatStars.com.
You really wanna stay tonight, don't you? But I
BeatStars.com.
gotta go away. You really wanna stay tonight, don't ya? I don't got time for your games, no, no, no. You really wanna stay tonight, don't ya? But I've gotta go away. You really wanna stay tonight, don't ya? But you won't be staying with me, no, 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 no,
BeatStars.com.
Beatstars.com. That's catchy as hell.
It's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Wiki BeatStars. Yeah. See, I go by Neeks, educating the crowd. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd be up for that collab. Y'all should work together. So since they laid claim to this one, you have to make a new one for me.
Okay. You don't want it to say beatstars.com in our awesome FOM song? What?
Just put FomStars.com.
Oh, should I do that? That'd be so funny.
Yeah, but don't do that. No,
No.
it would be
okay,
funny, but
fine.
don't do that.
All right.
Yeah, I have no idea what your course should be about. I'll think of something and shoot it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds like fun, right? We got to do it. We've committed to it, like in front of the world.
I know. Yeah, we told people. So
700,000 people watching this. Anyway, yeah, your monthly listeners are probably already up to like 2 million now.
probably.
Probably. But you don't even have to look. Just have faith. Seriously,
I
don't
won't look.
Don't look. Oh man, the chat's definitely been lively. I appreciate everybody out there. Hopefully everybody in the chat has subscribed to this channel if you weren't already subscribed, you know, because we have lots of other episodes in the past and in the future. And if you have folks you want on, let me know. No act too big or small. That's what I say. It's all about spreading the music. We probably could talk all day, Katie, but I too have things I need to do. I'm sure you do as well.
Yes, samesies.
So we will wrap this up. But it's been a great time. That's one reason I don't script it, because I'm like, let's just see what happens. And it was a lot of fun. So obviously everybody enjoyed the music. And when the EP comes out, when? On February 13th?
Yeah, the 13th. What does that even fall on? I can't remember. I should remember.
Saturday?
Oh, it's 1 week from today.
Today's
On
the
Saturday.
6th.
Yeah. It's
Well,
technically the 6th for listeners who are listening at some other time.
yeah, if you're not listening on the 6th, it's still the 6th today. Really doesn't change anything. and if it's February 14th or later, then the EP is already out and it's already
Then
on.
go look for it.
Yeah, go look for it. Indiscreet, Katie Dwyer. Pick up that cool merch too.
Yeah, katiedwyer.com/merch.
Bandcamp for the international.
Yeah, Bandcamp. katiedwyer.bandcamp.com. You'll find it.
Sweet. And if you do Bandcamp, do it on, what is it, the first Friday of every month is the Bandcamp day?
No, so because yesterday was one of the Bandcamp days, and I maybe it is the first Friday of every month. I don't know.
You're like, no, it was
No.
yesterday. I was like,
Maybe.
oh, okay. So
Maybe.
first Friday is not the right day. Yesterday is the right day.
I feel like it's been random, but maybe you're right.
I think it's first Fridays. If it's not, just go with it. Whatever.
Just go with it. Yeah, just buy my merch every Friday. I'm just kidding. Yeah. So
Awesome. Well, I appreciate everybody that came on and watched. Katie, I appreciate you taking 2 hours out of your mom life, music life, busy life to chat. I mean, even though it was about you, so it was kind of selfish of you, but
yeah, super selfish. How dare I?
That's your next
Never
album.
Doing it again.
Super selfish.
I should. That'd be funny. It should be a comedy album.
Mm-hmm.
Called I'm So Selfish. It's hot.
Yeah. Put some crazy trap drums on it. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody. Katie, any closing remarks for everyone?
Just thanks for listening, and I hope that you enjoyed this little, EP preview, and that you save it wherever you listen to music whenever it comes out.
That's great. That's great advice. All right, so guys, I'm not using OBS Studio yet, so we're just gonna have like this awkward stop at the end of the live stream. So I'll just try to like hold a wave, and so when I stop, this will be the last thing you see. Okay. So
should I do that?
Yeah, you should do it too.